Good Monday morning, everyone. Welcome to KSAT News Now. It is May the 8th, and hopefully you guys had a great weekend. Could not believe the weekend's already over, but we are back and ready to go here on KSAT News Now. Make sure to check us out on all of our digital platforms, and also make sure to check out our podcast as well. Like, rate, and subscribe to that. So we have a lot of our local and statewide news coming up here in just a little bit. Sarah Spivey's hanging out with us. She's standing by with some changes in our weather, so you're definitely going to want to keep that KSAT Weather Authority app with you. Download that and make sure to have that ready to go, because we do have some interesting changes coming up with the weather in just a little bit. But we're going to go ahead and start on with KSAT News Now again on a Monday, and start with a local story here that has been getting a lot of attention right now. San Antonio police need your help finding a teenager who is believed to be in grave or immediate danger. So this is 14-year-old Jules Robinson. Police put out an Amber Alert for him overnight. So he was last seen on May 1st in the 900 block of Classen Pass. That is on the north side. So Robinson is described as 5'6" tall and weighs about 130 pounds. Police say that he has black hair and brown eyes. You can see from the picture of him right there. He apparently also wears glasses as well. He was last seen wearing a paperboy hat, black thin frame glasses, we just see there, a dark colored t-shirt, black Nike shorts, and slip-ons. If you have any information on where Jules Robinson could be, call SAPD at 210-207-7660. Okay, moving on to some big statewide news that became obviously national headlines, and a very disturbing situation here in the North Texas area. The investigation continues this morning into the deadly mass shooting at the Allen Premium Outlets. Again, that's in the North Texas area north of Dallas. The gunman in the shooting has now been identified as 33-year-old Mauricio Garcia. On Saturday, Garcia opened fire at the mall, killing 8 people and wounding 7 others. The victims ranged from 5 years old to 61 years old. Now, someone that was there, Joshua Barnwell, said that he had stopped the bleed training and military experience he ran to help those wounded people.
I approached the woman who was conscious. She said, "Please work on my daughter." This woman had massive trauma, 5 to 6 gunshot wounds. I went to her daughter. I immediately started chest compressions. I knew she was gone.
And from the video, you see there that it was absolutely a frightening scene, horrific scene there at the Outland Premium Mall. So now police are investigating this as a domestic terrorism case. They say that they've looked through some of Garcia's social media pages, and according to law enforcement officials, they say that there could be a possible link to right-wing extremism in this case here. Now, further much south here and closer to the border, we also have new information about the deadly crash near the U.S.-Mexico border there in Brownsville. An 8th victim has died after a vehicle plowed into a crowd of people at a bus stop near the shelter for migrants there in Brownsville. The driver, identified police as a Hispanic man, was taken to the hospital for treatment. Authorities are looking into whether alcohol played a factor in this case, describing the man as, quote, very uncooperative, end quote. And they have so far charged him with reckless driving, but the investigation continues here. So this incident happened just days before Title 42 is set to expire.
It's going to take our plan a while to really take hold, for people to understand that they can access lawful, safe, orderly pathways before they reach the border.
And that was U.S. Homeland Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas there. So under Title 42, most migrants were deported to Mexico with no legal consequences. But when that policy ends on Thursday, they may face stiffer penalties if they cross the border illegally. So definitely some statewide stories to keep track of throughout the rest of this week. All right, back here at home. All right, it was a big weekend here for voters and a lot of our elected officials here. Mayor Ron Nirenberg, you can see very emotional there as we go over some of the election results here. First of all, you just saw there, Mayor Ron Nirenberg re-elected for his 4th term. We have 7 current city council members re-elected as well. Mark White won the District 10 seat. That was the seat that was held by Clayton Perry. He decided not to run for election there, but 2 council seats will now head into a runoff. That would be District 1. That was Mario Bravo's seat. So he's going to be in a runoff now. And District 7, that was the seat vacated there by Ana Sandoval. Lastly, the biggest ballot item here was Proposition A. We talked about that. We had a lot of explainers on what that was. Well, that was heavily defeated. It wasn't even close there. 72% of voters were against the proposition, and you can find a full recap of the city's general election on our website, ksat.com. So very busy weekend here, Sarah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, with the
Hey.
voters, election, people on the polls. Weather was kind of a little back and forth.
A little
and
back and forth. We had some isolated rain on Saturday, and then Sunday started off pretty damp, and then ended up being pretty nice during the afternoon.
Yeah, I liked it. It was a little cloudy, but I
yeah,
liked it.
but we're entering an active weather pattern this week, so there's a lot to keep in mind, and I want to walk you through the forecast for the remainder of the day. Firstly, today should be nice during the day. A little humid, a little hot. We're going to be getting up to 91 degrees this afternoon. Just an isolated showers possible during the day. And even into the evening, pretty isolated as well. It's going to be pretty mild with temperatures later on in the 80s. But as we head into late tonight, that's when we'll turn our eyes to the west, because a complex of storms could develop late tonight. Let's go ahead and take a look at the forecast for you, the futurecast. Here's a look right about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Again, there's a 20% chance for an isolated downpour this afternoon. It isn't until tonight that we start to look to the west when a complex of storms will develop. And it depends on where this forms. This particular model is showing it form closer to Carrizo Springs, but in all reality, we could see some of those storms form a little bit up to the north and head towards San Antonio. Regardless, we'll be watching late tonight for those storms to see if they can make it to San Antonio by the early morning hours tomorrow. We'll go with about 50% coverage late tonight, but during the day tomorrow, that same system is going to kind of linger and meander around, and so while there's a risk for flooding, especially east of San Antonio, in the Alamo City, we could see some issues as well. This is going to be a very busy weather week. And as meteorologists, we've been talking with the weather pattern that's overhead right now. It's difficult for us to nail timing down. Timing is going to be a question, but as you look at the forecast, know that the first time to be on alert is tonight through tomorrow, when heavy rain is going to be possible. And then I think again Friday, Saturday, and even Mother's Day, heavy rain could be possible as well. With it being a messy weather pattern, the best thing for you to do, I think, before you have to drive anywhere, is to check the radar. And we have a radar on the KSAT Weather Authority app. We're going to be going live as necessary on the weather app as well. So, you know, May is our rainiest month typically, and it looks like this week we're going to be seeing at least some rain out there.
Yeah, definitely May always seems pretty active when it comes to storms and things of that nature. So I know you guys will be on top of it.
We will.
For sure, yeah. And Mother's Day, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to the moms there. Hopefully it should be Mother's Day all day, every day.
I think so.
Definitely. Okay, well, speaking of, all right, so not mothers, but teachers here. We all love our teachers. Whataburger is celebrating Teacher Appreciation Week this week. So now through Friday, not through February, through Friday, teachers can get a free breakfast entree. This is pretty cool. They can also get 25% off at the Whata store, as well as by using the code there, WhataTeacher23. So WhataTeacher23, yeah. So also we're gonna have 55 teachers throughout Texas will be rewarded with a $1,000 grant for their schools. Pretty cool stuff there. Yeah. Do you have a go-to breakfast at Whataburger, or?
I thought you were going to ask me if I had a go-to teacher.
That too.
And honestly, you know, you remember your teachers. You do.
Yeah.
And I will always remember.
Who's the teacher that
Well,
sticks out?
I've actually gone back to see her a couple of times.
Cool.
Shannon Sahabi. Miss
Oh,
Sahabi.
nice. Yeah.
Well, Dr. Sahabi now.
Wow, okay.
At Clark High School, she taught my environmental science class, which is one of the biggest reasons I wanted to become a meteorologist in high school.
All right. Yeah, I'm sure she's very proud of you.
Shout Sahabs.
Sahabs.
That's what we call her, Sahabs.
Yeah, shout out to all of our teachers out there. I think for me, our elementary school teacher, Mrs. Lozano, she was a fourth grade teacher.
Nice.
But yeah, she was so nice. She told me I had like great penmanship, which I still to this day, you know, take that with me.
You
I don't
do.
ever write anything like that.
And
but
as for the Whataburger question, I like the honey butter chicken biscuit.
Yeah.
Or, okay, they call their breakfast burritos taquitos, which I have an issue with because they're not really small tacos and they're not
No,
really
they're not.
taquitos. So But I
They're
like those.
more like burritos.
They're burritos.
Taco burrito. Maybe that's why they.
But I
came
like
up
the
with
Whataburger
taquito.
taquitos.
Yeah, the biscuit sandwich for me. That's a good one there. And the Bob, the breakfast on a bun. Cannot go wrong with that.
Nice.
All right, guys. Well, make sure to take care of your teachers no matter what this week. And if you see them, let them know about this cool deal there at Whataburger. Okay, we're going to wrap things up here. KSAT News Now on a Monday. We appreciate you guys hanging out with Sarah and myself. We will see you back here soon.